Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another video. So in this lesson we're going to carry on with the screen shake script. So in the last video we tested the script out. Now the effect works, but it isn't exactly what we're after at the moment, so we're going to make some updates now. And what we're going to do is actually reposition this code. Now it's in the fixed update at the moment, but we're actually going to move it into the void update. The fixed update was just for testing, so we're going to create some new variables. The first one of type private float, and this is because of the way in which the void update works. So I've just created a private float underscore timer value equals 1. This one can remain private. We won't need to change this value, but there is one we will need to change. So because it's called once per frame, we need to make sure that regardless of what frame rate the game is running at, that the effect remains consistent. So let's put creates variable to store the timer value. You could always put in brackets here starting value as well. Private float underscore current FPS. Close that line off. Into the comments. Now I suppose this could be made an int value, but just for in case people are running at unlocked frame rates, we're actually going to divide the value. So I'm just going to use the float variable for that reason. So again, I'm just putting the same comment in as before, but this time just add in current frames per second on the end of that. So again, private float underscore timer decrease value. And again, we'll just quickly get that into the comments. Again, creates a variable to store the timer decrease value. And this time we're going to use public float underscore, and we're going to use decrease value modifier, and I'm going to set mine equal to 240F. So I'm just going to put this into the comments and then I'll explain a little bit more. Defines the value to modify the timer decrease value. So we're going to use a little bit of maths to divide the FPS to get a decrease value. So I would recommend, obviously as always, experimenting with this number, but I would recommend using it in values of 60, so you could either go down to 180 or up to 300. You could move at 30 if you wish, but I'll leave that for you to experiment with. So, with that all said, we're going to come to the void update and the fixed update now. And first thing we're going to do is move this if block, where if set screen position equals false, we do nothing and return. So with that in place, we're going to say underscore current FPS equals application dot, and we want the target frame rate. Close the line off. So we'll grab this every time. Obviously this line isn't going to run all the time because of a lot of instances we're going to return, meaning this line won't be read. But this is in case we make any changes while in a match to our options. We'll change the FPS target. We'll make sure that what we're grabbing is correct. So in the comments we'll say set current FPS to equal the application's frame rate. And then we're going to do something we've done many times before involving timers. So the first one, timer decrease value, is going to equal the underscore current FPS divided by the value modifier. We'll close that off. We'll break it up for commenting. So set timer decrease value to equal the current FPS, and we'll just put divided by the modifier. If open and close brackets, inside the brackets, timer value is less than or equal to 1. Yeah, we'll leave it at that for now. So we'll say if underscore timer value is less than or equal to 1. Come below, we're going to say timer value minus equals underscore the timer decrease value. Close the line off. Into the comments we'll say then decrease the value by the decrease value. So let's just get that in place. And in fact, we'll just copy that if block. Let's just paste that in. It's less than or equal to 0, so we're just going to prevent a negative. We're just going to change this to equal 0, so we need to get rid of the minus sign as well. And I'll quickly just change the comment. We're going to say if open and close brackets the timer value is double equals 0, we'll come to the end of the line and we'll open and close brackets again if timer value equals 0. I'm going to put then execute the following code. I don't know if you could just see that little pop up, but I'll get rid of it anyway. And the code we want is the rest of the code from the fixed update. So let's just cut and paste that in. We can actually delete the fixed update. And then we're going to come just before the very last close bracket. And then we'll say if open and close and underscore time value equals 0, which it should do. We're preventing a negative. We're remaining at 0 while we execute this code. So let's put this into the comments. So we'll just say equals 0. Underscore timer value is going to equal 1. So we're just resetting it back to its default. I'll tidy up the comments off camera. Let's just save that off. Wait for it to recompile and then we'll test it out. So obviously this is still going to need an audio effect to go along with it. But we'll deal with that in another video. So let me just stop that there. Let's just come to special moves. And we'll just come to the movement one. So I've just commented out the body hit. I'm actually going to comment out for the head. So we just have the camera shake calling the 2 lines of code that call the function just working when we hit the body now. That seems to be more reliable. I'm just going to save that off. So I did comment this out just off camera. We are going to uncomment both, but we're going to add code that will prevent it being called twice. So let's just go ahead and we'll run through the game again. So we've got a little screen judder effect. So let's stop that there. So in the next lesson, now we have a little bit more code. We'll do some more tweaking and just polishing this up. We may adjust some values just to actually improve the effect. But of course, that will all depend on what you want for your project. Some just like the effect to be subtle, some like it to be dramatic. So that will be a choice that you need to make on your own for your particular project. But we'll leave it here for this video. As always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson. I hope to see you next time. And as always, until then, bye for now.